Hey, I'm Wes Bohr.
And I'm Caleb Cartwright.
And if you listen to the end of the show, you will be entered to win $1 million. Or owe us $1 million. I'm not sure which.
Once again, in our tired eyes, we are yawning. We're barely here. But for you, our listener...
You hear this? That's me. You remember Dumb and Dumber when they're driving and Harry's falling asleep? He just starts smacking himself ruthlessly. That's me over here.
And he still fell asleep. So at some point in this episode, Wes may be hit by a semi-truck.
Actually, that was Lloyd that fell asleep. Everyone knows that.
I don't know. I can't keep track of things. It's episode 19 of Life in a Fantasy Football World. You can tell how excited we are.
We should be very excited. Training camp started, and we're all very excited.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of news out. We got a mock draft today, and we might post the results of this mock draft on Twitter for you to decide who has the better team. So not to throw a little fuel on that fire, but you better do a good job.
Or else.
And we're going to take on the NFC South.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to look at, there's some good teams in there. Wes is going to take the Panthers and Saints. I'm going to have the Bucks and Falcons. It should be an interesting show. I'm fresh back from Key West, from a family reunion. I actually got in this morning, so I'm exhausted. This is going to be fun.
Here's a little fun fact for all you listeners out there. Caleb insisted on getting married in the Key West, which drove his quote-unquote closest friends to drive down from Pennsylvania to the Key West for a few hours to enjoy a ceremony, and then to turn right around and drive back. So when he complains about the Key West, I tell him to shove it.
Fun part about that is like when you ask your close friends that, quote, close friends, they can't really say no. I mean, somehow, our one friend got out of it.
I was going to say, there was a guy that was smart enough to get out of it.
He's like, oh, man, last minute. Nah, I just don't want to go.
I wish I could be that honest.
Not going to work.
I need to work on my, not giving a crap attitude. Nah, I'm glad I went. It was a lot of fun, but I've never, second most tired time of my life was driving back. And we stopped at a Cracker Barrel in Virginia, man. And I just closed my eyes. My eyes were so heavy. I was yelling. Someone put the Space Jam song on at the beginning, everybody get up, it's time to stand now. And I'm yelling it, trying not to fall asleep. And then finally the guy that was driving was like, we got to pull over, man. And I could have slept for 10 minutes or 10 days. I don't know which one it was, but it was, oh gosh. But it was a good experience. It was fun.
Hey, are you any at all excited about Space Jam 2?
No, I won't be seeing it. I think it's ridiculous. LeBron, come up with your own freaking ideas.
Pretty sure someone probably approached him like, hey, you want to do Space Jam 2? And he just said, yeah.
He said, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing anything else. It's not like I'm winning games. Oh, wait, any of my friends? Hey, buddies, help. Without anybody, I can't win. Friends, come on. And Anthony Davis is like, oh, yeah, I'll come on over and play with you. We win championships. Freaking losers, man. God.
That might be a sore subject for you. I can't tell.
I cannot stand LeBron James and his whole, I'm the greatest ever to play as long as I have my buddies. Gosh. As soon as he goes anywhere, he's like, I'll go there if you trade for this guy, and this guy, because I can't do it with average talent.
You might be firing some people up.
Good.
Especially in the fantasy football world.
Yeah. Probably just getting
this
fired
LeBron
up.
James talk.
This is what we're tuned in for.
Thanks, everybody, for following us. Life at an FFW on Twitter, on Instagram. Been enjoying some interaction there. We know it hasn't been as much as usual, but we are busy, unfortunately, with real life, not this loser stuff.
Trust me, I wish I didn't have a real life.
Mm-hmm. Ask us some questions. Amen. Ask us some questions if you have any. But you know what? I'm going to get right into it. Wes, I have a surprise question for you. What?
I got to make a surprise comment for you. Because I know everyone's thinking it out there. Yes, when Caleb was getting wedding pictures done at the Key West, there was a nude man on the beach staring at us. So I just wanted to confirm that to everyone who was thinking it.
Well, the problem is it was you. So
did I lie? There was a nude man on the beach. If you continue to take pictures, whose fault is that?
Yeah, I guess so. I knew he was there, though. That's the only reason why I continued.
I stared right back, man. I didn't even care.
So, Wes, for people to get to know you a little bit, what is your favorite part about fantasy football? What brings you back?
Oh, at the end of every year, I am like, I got to chill out on this because it usually ends with heartbreak. It's usually like, I should have done this. I'm so angry. And then I take a month it's like when you're in a relationship and you have a big fight and then you're like, I'm done with this, man. And then like a week or two later, you miss this about it. You miss the lineups. You miss watching the waivers. You miss the trades you throw out there. You miss the draft process. And then when training camp comes around, you're about jumping out of your skin. You're calling her back. You're saying, I made a huge mistake. Take me back. That's what it's all about, man. I absolutely loved this draft process. My head has been going crazy for our auction coming up, man. Just thinking of who I'm targeting, the strategy I'm going to take. If I like anything, I love a good strategy. And auction helps me. I want to say this as less evil as possible. I have fun manipulating people into doing as I wish.
Waiting for them to nominate someone they don't think that you want, and then you take them.
Talk about a thrill when you have no interest in the guy, but you keep jacking the price up and they keep biting. When do you pull out of it? When do you pull out? And if you just do it right, you know what happens. A thrill.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
And I don't think I answered your question at all, but cool.
You have passion for it. That's the thing.
I'm a giddy little schoolgirl.
The highs are better than the lows. That's it. Let's get it. There's actually a lot of news to take on, so we're just going to get some takes on it. We're not going to spend a lot of time. The biggest part of the news is Tyreek Hill will receive 0 suspension. The league has reserved the right that if new evidence comes out, if anything new comes to light, that they can still take action against him or suspend him. But as of this time, it just looks like the 2 people involved that know anything about it aren't talking.
Yeah,
and
I wonder
there's no
why.
Proof. Right. And there's no proof of any kind of what actually went down. It's all just speculation, unfortunately. Recordings could have been taken out of context, and you just don't know. So
what kind
there's
of
nothing for them to base anything
would that
off.
be taken out of?
Listen, I tell my son I'm going to beat him up all the time.
Yeah, but okay. I don't want to go anywhere with that. This could turn ugly. So I was going to make a joke, but no, Tyreek Hill, everyone knows he's a groin. He's a total walking groin. And the NFL's whole, we could suspend him if we want if more evidence comes up. That's their way of saying, if people really get ticked off about our decision, we'll just suspend them some games to keep people happy. I think it's ridiculous.
Something new came to light.
Yeah. Oh, there's a video? We didn't know that. We're just the NFL. Yeah, I can't believe he got away with 0 games. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, it feels like he was closer to getting suspended for his little spat with the security guard.
Yeah.
But it's all about the product they put on the field. It's all about the money. They don't give a crap. I'm sure Tyreek sent money towards the mom and the kid to Shuddy because why else would they keep their mouth shut? He knows how critical it is for him to get this next contract. If they'd had evidence on him and he got suspended, no one's giving him the big contract. Well, now the Chiefs are already saying they want to give him a long-term contract, so he'll make the big bucks.
They might wait until next year, though.
Yeah, well, whatever.
So I know it's still not a player that you may not be targeting, but if he's playing a full season on that offense, is he worth a late first-round pick?
Late first,
because before all this business, he was going top 3 wide receiver.
Oh, I don't think he's worth a late first-round pick. I think there's very few receivers worth a late first-round pick. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins.
Julio.
I don't know, man. Definitely not late first for me. Maybe a second. I don't even want to say a second. I would say I'd feel comfortable with the third, maybe. But even then, I don't know.
Just getting your feels, because I mean, last year he was the number 1 wide receiver. for fantasy. So
he does have some inconsistent
it's
games though.
He's
a big boomer bust kind of cat.
But when he gets like 40 points in a boom, and he does that 8 times in a season, it's pretty good.
Yeah, with Mahomes at quarterback, I think those dud games kind of are far and whatever in between. Yeah, here's a game. 1 catch, 13 yards, 4 catches, 40 yards, 4 catches, 70 yards, 2 catches, 50. Oh, gosh, man. He did have some mediocre games. But then, of course, you have 10 catches, 215 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 7 catches, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, not consistent enough for me to go in the first 2 rounds. But if you guys want to do that, then you're idiots. I mean, that's your choice.
They're not idiots. I mean, yeah, they are. Sony Michel, quick bit of news. He's started on the training camp on the physically unable to perform list. Still recovering from his knee scope. As expected, we knew some stuff was wrong. I've already been a little afraid of Sony Michel. He's been dropping on boards, and we've talked about it before. We don't have to say it much more. Is that backfield is awfully muddied. There's a lot of good talent. They spent another 2nd-round draft pick this year on a running back, and I'd rather have that pick. What's his name again?
Damian Harris.
Damian Harris. I honestly would rather take a flyer on Damian Harris in late rounds than try and risk Sony Michel in the 4th or 5th round.
Heck yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. You took the words, they're in my mouth, and you took them out. Because I'm saying Sony Michel totally is a scary pick for where he's being drafted, and I am very happy if you can get that Damian Harris in one of the final rounds just as a flyer or pick him up in the first week or two because, yeah, this guy's health, even in college, man, he's had knee issues. Last year he had knee issues. I mean, it's not like he's a running back that's going to he's a running back in his 2nd year, and he's already having major injury issues. So the Patriots aren't stupid. That's why they drafted Harris when they did in the 2nd round. So I would keep an eye on Harris. I think he might end the season a little stronger than Michel if he has more issues. So
yeah, and I mean, Michel missed time last year as well. So
and his last name's Michelle. So what a girl,
Michel.
Michel.
I thought it was really funny after I said my comment. You sounded like Perd Hapley from Parks and Rec when you replied, and those were the words that I am going to say in my mouth.
Perd Hapley.
It kind of sounded like what would he would say. Oh, and the next word I'm going to say are coming from my mouth.
Oh, I missed that guy. I totally forgot about him. He was in Parks and Rec. Yeah, I like him. Okay, sorry.
Next point of news, and I don't know how to take this. Like, I've been really, I don't know how you've been feeling about Todd Gurley lately, but there have been whispers from teams. There's been some interviews that have come up that he has been giving away, like his teammates have been giving away, but that they have been drafting him like number 5, number 4 in their fantasy football leagues. And apparently they're being honest about it. Like they have a lot of confidence in him this year for being full steam ahead. Now, it's hard to say that when they draft Darrell Henderson where they did. Maybe they just did that as insurance, since this is one of the this might be the season that they really need to go for it all again, get back to the Super Bowl. And if they don't, they're going to have a lot of people to pay, a lot of contract situations coming up next year. So some whispers that Gurley is ready to go. I mean, when are you willing to take Gurley? We had this conversation a couple months ago, and it was like you would probably take Damian Williams over him. Are you still taking Damian Williams over Todd Gurley?
Yeah. I don't like where Todd Gurley is. I don't trust any of this stuff coming out. Whispers as it is. Nothing that would make me even second guess this. He has knee issues, and the Rams are probably trying to make him feel like, hey, we got your back, man. But he's a young guy that signed a big contract that is never going to be what he was, unfortunately.
Now, it might be too late for a lot of drafts, but what if he goes into training camp, has no issues, no setbacks, preseason comes along, Darrell Henderson doesn't look that great, nobody else is really flashing, Todd Gurley looks healthy, gets towards the end of August, you still have drafts left. Does he look more positive to you at that point, or is it just don't take a chance on Gurley this year.
If he gets to a round where you feel comfortable taking the risk, I would feel a whole heck of a lot better if you grab Henderson. If you grab Henderson, you can feel pretty good about it because Gurley is a steal if he's like 70% of what he was last year, going where he's going right now. And if you got Henderson in your back pocket, you can feel better than that rather than having Todd Gurley. And if he goes down, you're just left there.
Well, he's moving back to the front of the second round, so he's still
what?
He's still demanding some capital.
Are they insane? I thought we were talking like third or fourth round. Good Lord, man. You fantasy freaks.
Yeah, second round is kind of where he's at right now. Next little bit, Julian Edelman apparently is dealing with a thumb injury. And the main reason why I'm concerned about it is that the Patriots are bringing in other receivers to try to bolster that position. It could just be precautionary, but a thumb injury is not a good thing for a wide receiver to deal with, especially one that's just getting passes shot out of a cannon up the middle to catch it, for lack of a better term, because I can't speak. Edelman has already dealt with some injuries. He actually finished in the time that he played last year. He was the number 8 wide receiver in PPRs. So he finished pretty decently last year. But any nagging injuries, man, it's hard to want to draft a guy where they are when you have injuries that you're dealing with in the offseason.
I told you once, I told you twice, I told you a chicken soup and rice. Simply put,
that before
what's that?
I've never heard that before in my life.
Yeah, that was like an elementary school book. Told you once, I told you twice, I told you chicken soup and rice. Which is very unappealing to me. Chicken soup and rice, keep them separate, please. Yeah, Edelman's old. His regular seasons are above average. People draft him as a star. He's always hurt. He's always got something naggy.
Yeah.
So how he's walking around with a cast on his hand in the middle of July, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe Tom Brady's back massages are getting a little rough. I don't know.
He has to massage Tom Brady's back. That's the problem.
Deeper.
Hurt his hand.
Deeper. My thumb. Keep going.
Listen, just keep an eye on it. Anybody that has drafts coming up, just keep an eye on it. See what's going on. If you have a better pick, somebody better that's healthy in that position, might be worth it. Melvin Gordon, it does not look like he's going to start this season. They are at a standstill. The Chargers do not want to give him a contract. Things are nowhere close. So I don't know. Right now, it's kind of looking like he's getting traded or he's sitting.
Well, we got to remember it's in the middle of July. Season doesn't start for over a month. They can play this game of chicken for a couple weeks right now, see if anyone gives. It's when you start getting into week 3, week 4 of the preseason. I mean, Melvin Gordon, these training camps and stuff aren't critical for him. It's his, 4th, 5th year in the league. He knows the offense. His quarterback, very familiar with him. This is not critical for his development. He could step in there week 1 and be an asset. So this is probably going to go into the late stages of preseason. And if I have to guess, I'm thinking LA is going to give in because, like I said last week, Phillip Rivers does not have many good years left. So why would you take a superstar running back and deny him, the money that he deserves? Because he gives you your best chance to go to the playoffs and make a run at a Super Bowl. But I don't know. Ego's getting in the way.
Well, in the meantime, Austin Eckler, he's moving up boards. He's ahead of Royce Freeman even.
But I'll say this about Austin Eckler. I had him on my team last year, and he performs a lot better when Melvin Gordon's in there. As the lead back, he just doesn't produce. When he comes in to relieve Melvin Gordon, he does a lot better. So I don't know if that has any sort of pattern to it, but I'm not as excited about Austin Eckler. I might even be a little more teased about Jackson. Is it Justin Jackson or something?
Yeah, well, especially since you can get him in post 13th round.
Post 13th round. That's my kind of round.
I guess that's if you already have Gordon, obviously try and get one of the other two. Try to trade for him to have that handcuff. But be careful. Be wary. I'm staying away from him at this point.
My question is, Caleb, how big of a mark that? What round would you take Melvin Gordon in? What round would he have to fall to for you to say, okay?
I got burnt by Bell in 2 leagues last year.
Yeah.
I have a couple more weeks before my first serious draft is coming up, and I'm going to have to make that decision. So that's my redraft anyway. So that at this point, I think I'm just going to stay away from Gordon. I'd rather go for, let's say if he was going 6 or 7 like he normally was, I would rather take DeAndre Hopkins, just get the number 1 wide receiver rather than go for Melvin Gordon.
If he's sitting there in the back of the second, are you taking him? A caveman like
so
grunt.
Tough. That's so tough. So him or Devontae Freeman, Marlon Mack.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's a make or break pick for your season right there.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know. I guess I need more clarity before I have to see some movement. Right now, it's like nope, no contract. We're not moving.
I guess we both can agree that if you do draft him high, you have quite the set of cojones.
Or you didn't hear the news.
Yeah, or you're totally oblivious to it all, and you're just simply going by rankings.
All right. We are going to treat ourselves, whether you like to listen to it or not, and we're going to do a little bit of another head-to-head mock draft.
You sit there and you listen to it.
Oh, they're going to listen, and they're going to listen hard because they have to decide who won this one.
Oh.
We will. I'm going to post the results on social media. You guys let us know what you think. We're going to roll through this a little faster because, I can already tell that we're going to go on for 4.5 hours tonight. So,
which seems about on par with the rest of our
We're doing a 10-team PPR. Mr. Bora is going to be drafting from the 8 spot. I'll be drafting from the 3 spot. He is going wide receiver heavy, and I'm going very running back heavy. I'm loading running backs like you wouldn't believe.
Ooh.
60 some running backs. So that's what's happening. I don't think any other rules. I already said PPR, and yeah. Do you want to get it going?
Let's get this show on the road.
Begin draft. Oh, and we're doing this on Sleeper. I've found to very much like Sleeper lately.
Engage draft.
Saquon goes 1, Elliott goes 2, and this is an easy one for me because I love me some Christian McCaffrey. And him falling to 3, perfect position to take him.
Okay, fall to me, Mr. DeAndre. Someone took...
Wow.
God, man. I don't know about the Sleeper app sometimes. I like it, but Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams going in front of DeAndre Hopkins?
Well, I've seen Devontae Adams go in number 1 a lot of places. But
what kind of fool would do that?
Michael Thomas is that one's an odd one. So then Melvin Gordon went after you, number 9.
Oh.
So he did fall. He fell behind 3 wide receivers.
And the guy I had my eye on, Julio Jones, went 1 pick before me, but I am happy to settle on Odell Beckham, someone that I'm a little higher on than Caleb is this year.
Yeah. That's a pretty solid opening. DeAndre Hopkins and Odell Beckham as your 1 and 2. That's a good way to start. Travis Kelce went right before me, so I have my pick of the litter really when it comes to running backs.
And who's looking
at
you right now?
That's a tough part, isn't it, man?
Todd!
Girly.
What an odd name for a kid. I could not imagine naming my son Todd.
I wonder if he'd get back to me if I overlooked him right now. So here, I'm going to have to take him based on upside, even though I'm down on him this year. Not like most people. I just think he carries so much risk of losing his job, but I'm going to take Damian Williams because right now he has everything. And Todd Gurley went right after him, by the way. Dude. So Todd Gurley in the 2nd, as I told you, Antonio Brown, Adam Thielen, Nick Chubb went. And here I am again. A lot of people are very high on Aaron Jones. I have Leonard Fournette, Marlon Mack, Devontae Freeman. In my rankings, you might be surprised, as high as I was on Marlon Mack, I actually like Devontae Freeman better. I think if he is healthy this year, he's going to be so good on that offense. When we talk about the Falcons for a little bit next, in upcoming, I'm going to tell you why I think their offense is going to be even better. And so I'm going to overlook Jones, Fournette, and Mack, and I'm going to take Devontae Freeman to give me Christian McCaffrey, Damian Williams, and Devontae Freeman.
He's losing his mind.
That's all I do.
Okay. We have Caleb's favorite, Amari Cooper here. We have...
you should definitely take him.
T.Y. Hilton, but I am going to settle for arguably the best tight end in the draft. Zach Ertz.
Really?
Yep. I've had him before. With a healthy Wentz, man. He's so much better with Wentz than Foles. Cripes, this wraparound.
I'm very surprised you wouldn't want to take T.Y. Hilton there.
I just...
Having that triplet of DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, and T.Y. Hilton, they're like sure number one wide receivers.
Don't you think I was teased out of my mind to do that, Caleb?
No.
Well, I was. But I'm not a big T.Y. guy. And I did
You're
say
more
it
of a
correctly.
T.Y. Montgomery.
I was gonna yell, everybody laugh. Grab your bellies. God, I got to pick in a minute. You got me off 6s and 7s over here. Now, do I go running?
You got plenty of time.
Okay. So I was thinking, I don't like T.Y. Hilton. He always seems like he's tweaking hamstrings, not feeling 100%. Colts have more weapons than ever. Luck likes to spread the ball around. I'm just not high on T.Y. Hilton this year. Ty Hilton, I mean. Now, do I go running back? This is where on first 3 rounds were non-running backs. But you know what? I'm feeling naughty, Caleb. I'm feeling real freaking naughty. And I think I'm going to, oh gosh, I like Amari Cooper, man, but you're
tilting
really
so hard.
What's that?
You're tilting so hard.
You really hate him, and your hate is transferred to me. Amari Cooper, but he is a number 1 wide receiver. So I think I'm going to take Stephon Diggs or Amari Cooper. Come on, people. What are you saying? Say it louder. Excellent.
Oh. It's okay. It's all right. Listen, I think Stephon Diggs could vie for the number 1 on that team for sure.
I took Amari Cooper.
But you're right. Amari Cooper's probably going to be the guy.
I took Amari Cooper.
He did. He took Amari Cooper.
I broke Caleb's heart.
I'm going to go for a 4th running back in the row, okay? Just so everybody knows. There's only one choice here. There's only one choice for me to get, and I think it's great. My 4th running back.
I can see your smiling from ear to ear right now.
Here's the tough part, though. So, no, this is why you want to look at roster construction, right? Because there's no way I'm not playing Christian McCaffrey in week 1, Damian Williams, Devontae Freeman, right? Most likely, there's no way I'm not playing them unless they were injured. So if me taking a player like Kerryon Johnson, I'm putting one of these guys on the bench, right? So looking at roster construction, it doesn't make any sense for me to take a 4th running back because I can't play him. I don't have the position to fill. So I have to take wide receiver here. And for me, Robert Woods is over Brandon Cooks. Both of those Rams players are here. I'm going to take Robert Woods as my number 1.
Oh!
And right back around. Kerryon Johnson is still there.
God,
but
he said, Caleb, how could you?
But I have to pander towards the wide receiver position at this point.
Pander?
I've got to fill that out. Oh, man. You look up your words. God dang it. And I have not drafted Kenny Golladay once in this offseason.
To gratify or indulge an immoral or distasteful desire, need or habit, or person with such a desire. Is this something sexual, Caleb?
Well, wouldn't you like to know? I'm actually going to go. I'm going to take Brandon Cooks has a lot of upside. You know what? I'm not afraid to have 2 Rams wide receivers. I'm going to have Cooks and Robert Woods on my team somehow.
Ooh, live or die by the Rams. Okay.
Last year it worked out. What are the chances it works out again? Kerryon Johnson went right after that. David Montgomery. Chris Godwin actually went before Ridley or Kupp or Lockett. Sony Michel still went in the middle of the 5th round. What's going through your head?
So as much fun as all that was, I now look at the dark, disgusting reality of Kenyon Drake possibly being my number 1 running back.
Oh.
And
How do you feel
Caleb
about that?
loves it. Well,
I know what it's like to have him. And you love him and hate him. That's all there is to it.
So I am going
Kareem Hunt.
I am looking at my options, Caleb.
Kenyon Drake, James White, Chris Carson. Do you have confidence that Chris Carson can hold on to that role for a while?
Here it is, everybody. A twist.
Cooper Kupp. Oh, he went. He's going dangerous. I'm curious to see what your running back core looks like at the end of this. Oh, and Kenyon Drake is sitting there still.
Drake. Everyone thinks he's great.
And that's it. Your number one running back is Kenyon Drake. How do you feel?
I feel dirty.
You should.
You are. You dirty
Not even I feel good about that.
You herder.
I'm pretty happy as my third wide receiver. I can get who I think could turn into and again vie for a number one position in Tyler Boyd. I love AJ Green. I just think he will likely have an injury.
Ever since Tyler Boyd did good for you last year, you've had quite the love affair with him, which I won't.
What's not to love?
That's true. He's a Bengal. That's about it.
A bangle. He's a bracelet you wear on your arm. I'm back to it. I have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Here in the 7th round, I could take a tight end. A couple of studs are sitting here. Evan Ingram, I'm actually surprised, is still sitting there. I'm not even looking at a quarterback. I'm going to wait. There's another tight end that you probably know that I think would come back to me. You already have your tight end, so I know you won't steal him.
Maybe I will. I'm a jerk.
There are a couple of very good wide receivers on the board. Mike Williams, Alshon Jeffrey, Dante Pettis. And right now, because I have Woods, Cooks, and Boyd, I think I can start going for upside players who I think will break out. And Dante Pettis, is one of them. And so I'm going to take him.
Oh, Baker just went. Ah!
Oh, no, Lamar Miller went.
Tevin Coleman, man. I've had my eye on him. I've heard a lot of things about Niners are really hot. I think that mess in Ninersville is starting to
it's cleaning up,
sort itself out. Oh God!
So let me describe your number 2 running backs here: Darrell Henderson, Rashad Penny, Darius Geis, Latavius Murray, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt. I don't think so. Ronald Jones II, Jordan Howard, Austin Eckler. Who do you want as your number 2? This is the danger of going 5 rounds in the receiving core.
Ooh, I'm feeling just fine about it, actually.
All right.
Huh? So don't sit all there high and mighty and a fat man looking at me, laughing with your core of running backs, looking down on the peasants who start Kenyon Drake. If Darius Geis was healthy, man, I'd... Let's just take a quick update for all you guys out there. Darius Geis, the latest news on this guy is excitement surrounding Darius Geis returns to the surface. That's all I got to hear. I'm easily swayed.
There you go. Darius Geis. Alshon Jeffrey went. Robbie Anderson, Darrell Henderson, Eric Ebron. And, this is going to be curious when it gets back to me. Okay. So, you likely need more running backs, huh?
Looking at quarterback, looking at wide receiver. Caleb, I'm not limiting myself to position, man. What do you think this is?
Does Sammy Watkins have any value anymore now that Tyreek Hill's back?
Did he have any value before?
I mean, possible.
Yeah, he did, actually. So here's a dude that I like.
I guess that answered my question.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What was the question?
0.
Okay, running backs, sir. There's some potential there, and you got Rashad Penny, Latavius Murray, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, Ronald Jones. I think I'm going to have to pick off a Penny. I think he's going to... Carroll's talking about how he wants to split it up pretty good in Seattle. I think Penny's going to have it by the end of the year, so...
I don't see Chris Carson going away quietly into the night, but... I can definitely see the value of Penny at just even in a split situation. Like, he's going to get work no matter what. And surprisingly, Evan Ingram made it back to me. Like, Eric Ebron, Hunter Henry, OJ Howard all went before him. And although I kind of like Vance, I think I'm actually going to take Evan Ingram here in the 8th round, which is crazy to me. The back of the 8th, Evan Ingram. I'll have him. Allen Robinson, Will Fuller. I have I'm pretty good on my team right now.
Pretty awesome, actually.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm good.
Freaking like a fantasy god over here.
I'm going to go for a wide receiver. I am going to... Oh, we got Sterling Shepard, Geronimo Allison, Marvin Jones, Dede Westbrook, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I want a Green Bay receiver, but I am questioning who I think is actually going to be the number 2 on that team. And that's a difficult thing for me lately. Do I want the possible number 1 in Denver in Cortland Sutton? Do I take the chance on Jacksonville being actually good with Dede Westbrook? Or do I just take who could possibly be the number 2 in Green Bay? And you know what? I'm going to do that for the fun of it. I'm going to take MVS and feel bad about it.
You should feel terrible about it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't know who I was rooting for there.
just saying come on for the heck of it.
Come on, get a little higher. Okay, so here's a cat I'm kind of intrigued by this year, man. No, I'm not. I was going to take Ronald Jones, but I just heard recently that Peyton Barber's still probably going to get the majority of the work, so...
Yeah.
I'll read that and not read anything else. So we got quarterbacks. Looking at those, yeah. They'll be there for a while. So you got Jordan Howard, LaShawn McCoy. I was just joking about that last one. Geronimo Allison. Caleb, I'm in quite the quandary. But
take the other end of the Green Bay side of it. Mm-hmm.
I think I might do a little reaching, if you don't mind. Yes, I will.
Oh. I kind of had my eye on him, like as, hey, he might take Cortland Sutton.
And everybody, hold your legs, because oh, what a treat!
And Austin Eckler is next. I missed out on Royce Freeman, of course.
Trouble in Paradise in L.A. And I take Austin
Thought
Eckler.
I could get Royce Freeman on the way back. He did not fall to me. So you took Cortland Sutton and Austin Eckler. Sutton, I think, is one of the biggest upside receivers out there. If he gets a connection with Flacco on that deep ball, it'll look very good. Here, I'm looking at finishing out my main spots with a running back because I took the first 3 and I didn't take since. So I didn't go as heavy as I said I was. And here, I think I like Jalen Samuels. I like the handcuff potential. I also like his standalone flex playability in the Pittsburgh offense. So Jalen Samuels. And I have 2 picks left. And I am going to go quarterback because, I mean, even now, I have the choice of Cam Newton, Jared Goff, Jameis Winston, Phillip Rivers. I got a lot of good guys to choose from. I'm going to go for that stack. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods cleaning up passes from Jared Goff, and I'm going to be getting double points all the way.
You rapscallion!
He probably would have come to you, too. Yeah.
Yep, I'm sure he would have. Thanks a lot, White. All right, I'm going for this guy who's boring but consistent as crap. Young Sir Phillip Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the wrap... What's that?
We're only doing a 4 bench, so that's why. Oh, I just sneezed. Sorry. I was hoping that came through on the podcast. So that's why there's only 12 rounds. Usually, I wouldn't even take a quarterback quite here, but
as
it's
you guys
amazing.
know, I hate them. Okay, easy pick here. I got Geis. I am going to after I took Rivers, the reach round. I'm going to take Adrian Peterson with my final pick.
I very much like that. I mean, but I didn't realize that you actually saw value in Peterson, even as a handcuff. Or if Peterson starts the season, I guess you're playing him for a couple of weeks, and then
I'm keeping him
going back.
And then if Geis needs a couple weeks to get healthy, then I cut him and I drop him like he's hot.
I am going to grab Ben Roethlisberger as my second quarterback, so I have a very solid backup quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger. Jared Goff. My running backs, Christian McCaffrey, Damian Williams, Devontae Freeman, and Jalen Samuels. My wide receivers are Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Boyd, Dante Penis, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. and my tight end is Evan Ingram. I'm pretty happy with my squad, but what's yours look like?
So I came to the conclusion this 0 running back thing isn't for me. It's for some people. It's not for me. I don't like it. I don't think I will like it. But here's my roster. I got Phillip Rivers as my quarterback. My running backs, which if week 1 started today, I feel like Eckler would be in there with what's going on in LA. But I'll just say as it is, Kenyon Drake, Darius Geist. Then my receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, Amari Cooper, Zach Ertz at tight end, and my flex is Cooper Kupp. And then my bench is as follows. Rashad Penny, which I feel good about, Cortland Sutton, Austin Eckler, and Peterson.
I'll tell you what, if Cooper Kupp turns out to be healthy, those might be top 5 receivers right there, all 3 of them. Hopkins, Beckham, Kupp. That'll be, that's pretty much all you need on that team.
I'll just leave the running back slots empty.
See if you can talk somebody into starting a league without running backs. Like,
what's all this talk about no kickers? No running backs, right, guys?
Yeah, no one likes them.
Just double up on the kickers.
I will post the rosters at some point. Let us know what you think and who won. It'll be a little poll, and I'll vote for myself.
Not
just
the first
in case.
time I ever heard that.
That's a jerk.
It's a penis joke, Caleb. Get over it. Do you ever hear of the drafts that are like you got to pick a terrible team? Like interceptions are worth a lot of points, touchdowns are worth negative points. Like
yes,
dude, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty intrigued by that. I'm not saying we do it, but I'm just saying like I just now thought about it when I looked at my roster.
I think it would totally bum me out having a league like that amongst all of your other leagues because you're obviously rooting for points, but then they don't get points, and then you're still happy. I'm not sure how that would make me feel.
Dude, just think about how the waiver wire would look. Like Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, unclaimed.
Hey, I'm still excited to do our weekly waiver team.
Yeah, me too.
For anybody who didn't hear, we're going to do weekly. We are going to be drafting teams strictly by players that are being picked up popular off the waiver wires from week to week basis and seeing how those teams as a whole fare. It'll be interesting. So,
okay, Caleb, good news, bad news. Good news. We got 17 minutes to do these last few things, and then we could get done before an hour. Bad news, we won't.
Hey, I could do it.
Oh, you can do it?
I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
You good to go? I'm good to go.
Hey, I'm great to go.
Dude, I'm better to go.
I'm the best to go.
Your best is my worst.
Okay, that was a good one.
I don't even know what that meant.
All I know is I liked it. That was good.
I felt cool saying it. So
hey, team evaluation. Our second to last one, NFC South. Next week, we're going to be taking on NFC West. NFC Southwest, you have the Panthers and Saints. I have the Bucks and Falcons. Let's just get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with the Buccaneers. A lot of good has come with the Buccaneers. The coaching change, couldn't ask for a better coach in an offense that is studly, to say the least. The Buccaneers drafted in preparation to know that their offense is already going to be awesome. They went extremely heavy on the defense to bolster the defense, to take some pressure off of the offense. Their first offensive player that they drafted was a kicker, for goodness sake, in the 5th round. They did take a wide receiver in the 6th round, but pretty meaningless. I mean, they're very happy with the team that they have. The quarterback, Jameis Winston, this is kind of a make-or-break year for him. Peyton Barber is the running back. That's the one place it's not great. I don't know why the coach's name is escaping me. You'll think of it.
Bruce Arians!
Bruce Arians has had some great running backs in the past between Chris Johnson, David Johnson. But this team is not quite like that. You have Peyton Barber. You have Ronald Jones behind him. He brought in Andre Ellington from the Cardinals. That's definitely a 1 weak spot. But this is going to be a passing offense. So you have Mike Evans to look forward to, Chris Godwin, who has slowly fallen off the face of the earth. I've barely heard anybody talking about him lately. And between the two of them, they can get a lot done. O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, very great tight end duo. And again, they have brought in Ndamukong Suh. They drafted Devin White, who is a awesome linebacker to out of this year's draft. So a lot to like on the team as a whole. We will see. It's all really dependent on if Jameis Winston can stop all the interceptions and take a positive stride forward. He always throws for a lot of yards and gets touchdowns. Surprisingly, I haven't been able to get Mike Evans or Chris Godwin on any of my teams either. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't want any part of the running back core. But the over-under on the Buccaneers is 6.5. I mean, somebody has to lose some games here or there, but I think that with who they've drafted on the defense, they finished 5-11 last year. I'm going to take the over on this. I'll give them 7 wins easy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, you're so disappointed in your agreement.
Caleb.
Yeah, so I mean, next month we're going to actually talk about where we think the divisions are going to fall, who's going to end up winning, and then we're going to give predictions on playoffs and Super Bowl too. So that'll be interesting to see what you think there.
Quick question for you on your team evaluation. Did it say anywhere where a pirate would keep his hat?
No, it doesn't.
It's funny because I'm doing my research here and it says on top of his buccaneer. I'll move on. Carolina Panthers. Free agency early on, pretty dang quiet. Bruce Irvin's the only major signing they had. Linebacker from the Seahawks, then jumped to the Raiders, was released, played with the Falcons for a couple games. He's 31 years old. He's not the athlete he was, not that exciting. Well, towards the end of all this, Gerald McCoy got cut. And guess who came away with him? Good signing by the Panthers. Very nice. They didn't have that much sacks last year or pressure on the quarterback, so that's a big upgrade for them on the line. Let's go to the draft. They kept on working on that line with Brian Burns with their 16th pick, Florida State linebacker. Like I said, they finished 27th in sacks last year, so they made a concentrated effort to try and help pressure the quarterback. Then their second worst position was offensive line. So with the second-round pick, they took Greg Little. They actually traded up 10 spots for him. So offensive tackle at Ole Miss. Third-round pick was a little intriguing. Will Grier, wild card quarterback out of West Virginia. Third-round pick. Obviously, they don't feel so comfortable with Cam Newton and his health. Will Grier could take over the team in a year or two, or he could be looking for another team. He's very much, in my mind, one of the biggest buster boom quarterbacks from this class. Really, the only fantasy-relevant draft pick was Jordan Scarlett, Florida running back. He's no threat to Christian McCaffrey. Scouts, he's fast, but that's the only thing he has in common with Christian McCaffrey. Scout says he has dreadful hands. He caught 10 passes all of last year. And he was also involved with credit card fraud and weed. So not the cleanest of reputations coming into the league. No one to keep your eye on either. He's no threat to Christian McCaffrey. It's just the only really offensive notable guy from the draft is him. Caleb, you didn't do a watch or avoid.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the whole time. Gosh darn it.
Whatever. It's only almost done with
I'll do it. Do
you want to do it first? Or you want me to do it?
No, go ahead.
Who am I watching?
Curtis Samuel.
It's like you're reading my freaking tablet, my man. Curtis Samuel. No Devin Funchess anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so dig this. Curtis Samuel, slow start last year. Didn't play more than 50% of the team's snaps in any game until the last 6 weeks, okay? But those final 6 games, he posted double-digit PPR points 5 times. So he scored 2 touchdowns in that stretch, too. So that was a little teaser for what Curtis Samuel is all about. He has 4.3 speed. They have shown that they're not just looking at him being a receiver. They really want to utilize that speed. So dump offs, end arounds, whatever you can think. They just want to get the ball in his hands. So that's why I like that guy. And am I avoiding... What's that?
I've heard some tidbits about Curtis Samuel. Do you think you would bypass DJ Moore to take a late flyer on Curtis Samuel to finish better on the season?
No.
No? Okay. You answered it then.
I just think DJ provides a little more.
Yeah. I think your avoid is one of two guys.
Oh.
Definitely only one of two guys.
I was contemplating two guys, so I want to see if you get both of them, but go ahead.
All right. Cam Newton is your avoid.
Okay. Who's the other guy?
Greg Olsen.
It was originally going to be Greg Olsen, then I realized everyone's avoiding him, so I took Cam Newton. You were on fire, man. You were totally on fire. Okay. Cam Newton. His body's broken. They say he's 100%. He's also 30 years old. Are they still going to let him run around like he has been? And when he does, man, he gets hurt. And he doesn't miss games. He's only missed a handful of games in his career. But like last year, he wasn't a resemblance of any sort of a quarterback that he used to be in the past. He's just there. He couldn't throw the ball. So at 30, are they going to cut back on him running a little bit? I think that would be wise. But if they do that, is he really worthy of a consideration for quarterback one? He has less weapons than he's had in the past. They're unproven. And then you have guys like Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Phillip Rivers, all those guys being taken way after him. I just feel like Cam Newton's not worth the risk right now. And here's a little tidbit for you, Caleb, since you drafted Christian McCaffrey. He played 100% of the offensive snaps last year in 8 games. Okay? That's ridiculous. The rest of the league combined for only 3 games with a running back getting 100%. That was Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, and Todd Gurley. They each did it 1 game last year. Overall, over the season, he played 97% of the offensive snaps. Can you believe it?
It's crazy.
That's insane, man. So if you're looking for a true workhorse, they don't get much more worky-horsey than him.
That's a new game you can play. Worky-horsey.
Worky-horsey. Over under 8. I say I don't like Cam Newton's question marks. They have a lot of young guys on that team that I don't have. I still think they need some time to develop. I don't see them winning 8 games.
Yeah, I got that too. Unfortunately, it's like they can't do it on Christian McCaffrey's back, and you're right. If the quarterback is right now,
then the season is bleh.
Can't trust it. Yeah, that's it. The Atlanta Falcons. I'm slowly coming around to this whole offense as being what might be the best offense of the entire season in 2019. What is there not to like about them? Last year, the biggest difference is that last year their entire defense got injured, so they were forced to be a extremely high-powered offense, and they still couldn't win. They still finished 7-9, but Matt Ryan has had a lot of top, of QB1 finishes in a fantasy season. He tends to go back and forth, and he may have that regression this year, but Devontae Freeman is back healthy. Ito Smith is still there, and he could be a competent backup. Julio Jones, I don't think we need to really talk about how good Julio Jones is. Mohamed Sanu is there, Calvin Ridley. They have a ridiculous receiving core, including a tight end in Austin Hooper, who seems to be getting better. And they're very high on as a team as well. Atlanta Falcons are a scary team. And what did they do in the draft? Their first 2 picks, they got a guard and they got a tackle. So they're trying to protect and build around this core offense and make it even better than it was last year. Even if their defense does come back healthy and they don't have to play as hard. I think this is all, if Devontae Freeman, I know we talked about him a lot. If he's healthy, I think he's going to crush it this year. And the whole offense is going to just crush it. Who am I watching in particular?
Devontae Freeman?
Oh, that's too easy.
That was way too easy. That was literally your last sentence, is saying he's going to crush it this year.
But that's not who I was watching.
Oh, okay. Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, Calvin Ridley. I think, with Julio Jones there, healthy, whether he's healthy or not, if Julio Jones is on the field, it's really tough to really cover 2 stud wide receivers, and that's what I think Calvin Ridley is. Mohamed Sanu is a good wide receiver, but Calvin Ridley, I think, is everything that they need opposite of Julio Jones. and he's going to have a great year. His year last year, yes, it was 2 big games he had that really bolstered his stats, but I can see him taking off. I'm not going to talk much more about it. Who am I avoiding?
This is hard.
Yeah.
This is really
hard. I love that. I like them all.
Austin Hooper?
Yeah, I am avoiding Austin Hooper. Okay, there is a lot of talk about him. I get it. Tight ends is a wacky landscape and difficult to find talent. And if you have to take Austin Hooper back in the 15th round, whatever, to grab him, okay. But don't be one of these people taking him in the 8th, 9th round, because he's just, again, it's unproven. It will be a high-powered offense, but Matt Ryan is not a huge, since Tony Gonzalez, that's been his, not even Tony Gonzalez. He hasn't had a really good main tight end that he's relied on. It's been all wide receivers and running backs, so just avoid the tight end landscape. And as for the over-under, they are set at not wasting time because I don't see it on my little sheet. Everybody look at me because I'm dancing and I'm dancing and I'm dancing and I'm dancing.
Everybody, let's buy some time. I'll come in with the bridge. All I know how to do is scat. Falcons is 9.
8 and I say 8.5. Sorry.
Well, which one do you want to go with? Yours is probably
I have 8.5 on my sheet, so yeah. 8.5
just get
over
it
under.
And say it, Caleb.
I take them over. Yes.
I feel like putting money on that. That's easy.
Yep. All right. Cool.
Okay, are you done burning time? Because you left me 2 minutes. New Orleans Saints. Jared Cook, 32 years old. This is for the New Orleans Saints. He's old dude, but he was the best available tight end at a position they really needed some help. He's had a great 3-year stretch, so I think he should thrive. I wouldn't say top 3-4 tight end, but draftable. A few other signings they had. Teddy Bridgewater couldn't be lured by the Miami Dolphins. He stayed as a backup to Drew Brees. Tavius Murray, touchdown vulture, they brought over from Minnesota to take over from Mark Ingram, who they lost. And Malcolm Brown, defensive tackle from the Patriots, first-round pick, didn't live up to the hype. So hopefully he gets second win in New Orleans. The draft, no first-round picks because they traded away for Marcus Davenport foolishly. But their first pick was in the second round, and they took Eric McCoy, which is one of the top centers out of Texas A&M. Max Unger, sudden retirement, made this very much a need pick. Took a safety out of Florida, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Then they drafted safety, a tight end in the 7th, and a linebacker. So nothing really fantasy relevant. Who am I watching, Caleb?
That's a tough one.
You'll get it.
You are. I didn't want to go to the obvious. Latavius Murray.
Yes! Well done,
Sweet.
young squire.
Yeah.
I could just feel those air punches over here. Saints led the NFL with 49 rushing touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. So that's good for Latavius Murray. Also, no Mark Ingram. He walks in there. He's had 26 touchdowns over the last 3 seasons. Can you believe that crap, Caleb? Because I can't. Yeah, that's a lot of touchdowns. He's not getting a traditional backup running back role. We know how the Saints operate. Alvin Kamara's not built for a full workload. Mark Ingram did not take a back seat to him. It is pretty much a split backfield turning into a run-first offense. So, at a running back 36, yeah, Daddy kind of likes. Who am I avoiding, Caleb?
Drew Brees.
Yeah, pretty easy. Didn't throw for 4,000.
I got them all this time. I'm just so happy about that.
That was a good one. That was a sweep. Didn't throw for 4,000 yards last year. It's the first time since 2005 when he was with the San Diego Chargers. Second worst amount of touchdowns he's thrown. It's the second lowest, I should say, since 2007, and his lowest attempts thrown since 2005. And yet, somehow, he's being drafted as the 7th overall quarterback. This offense is obviously turning towards a run-first offense, trying to preserve Drew Brees in his career since he's getting older. He is not thrown for 5,000 yards and 40-some touchdowns anymore. he's being drafted pretty high for a quarterback, and I just don't think he's going to be on any of my teams. 10.5 over under. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say?
I think with taking a couple overs on the other ones, I gotta take the under on this. I'll take. They'll cap at 10.
Yes. I too take no. I take the over. I feel like in that division, there's a lot of question marks, except in New Orleans.
All right, so we did disagree on it. So all right.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, we'll do a bet on that one. If they go over, I won't kill you.
And if they do, you will kill me.
There you go. All right.
Gentlemen, shake.
All right. Hey, we got through it. Good job. We win.
We win. Always. Never.
That's it. Thanks, everybody, for joining again. Follow us on any social media. Look out for that poll. Oh, man.
Well, there it is.
That was funnier than it should have been.
Poll.
Oh, and that was it. Next week,
look out for you.
Training Camp Mania next week. We'll finish off our divisional outlooks, our team outlooks, and so excited to the end of next week. We're getting into our fancy auction draft. We're going to be bringing you some highlights of that.
It's a fancy auction draft.
Yeah. You want to finish off on any notes?
Yeah, I would like to take us out on a classic yeah, if that would be okay, Caleb.
Okay.
Yeah.